What if I told you that some of America's greatest stories have been lost to time? That hidden behind the big names like Washington and Lincoln are heroes whose courage, brilliance, and sacrifice shaped the nation, but they never got the credit. Who were these unsung champions? And why did history forget them? In April 1777, a 16-year-old girl mounted her horse and rode 40 miles through the dark forests of New York to warn American forces of a British attack. Her name? Sybil Ludington. Imagine Paul Revere's famous midnight ride, but twice as long and far more dangerous. Yet her name is barely whispered in history classrooms. Do you know the legend of the Lone Ranger? What if I told you it was inspired by a black man? Meet Bass Reeves, one of the first black deputy U.S. Marshals, who captured over 3,000 fugitives in the Wild West. He operated in a time when racism and lawlessness reigned, yet his name remains in the shadows. She wasn't a soldier, but Clara Barton faced the horrors of war head-on. During the Civil War, she risked her life to bring medical aid to soldiers on the battlefield, earning her the nickname, the Angel of the Battlefield. Without her, countless lives would have been lost. Fast forward to World War II, when Fred Korematsu defied an executive order that forced Japanese Americans into internment camps. His courage sparked a landmark Supreme Court case, making him a symbol of resistance against racial injustice. But do we remember his name today? Would you risk everything to fight for freedom? Deborah Sampson did. During the Revolutionary War, she disguised herself as a man and joined the Continental Army, fighting bravely until her secret was discovered. The skies during World War II weren't just a battlefield, they were a proving ground. Benjamin O. Davis Jr., the first black general in the U.S. Air Force, led the legendary Tuskegee Airmen to redefine what was possible in a segregated military. Their bravery shattered barriers for generations to come. Years before Amelia Earhart took to the skies, Harriet Quimby soared into history as America's first licensed female pilot. Despite facing sexism and skepticism, she became a trailblazer in aviation and inspired a new generation of women to dream big. You've seen the iconic photo of soldiers raising the flag at Iwo Jima, but how many of you know the name Ira Hayes? A Native American Marine, Hayes was one of the flag raisers immortalized in that moment. Yet, his story is one of triumph, tragedy, and the struggles of returning home as a forgotten hero. These are just a few of America's forgotten heroes, individuals who stood tall against impossible odds. Their stories remind us that history is more than just names in textbooks, it's a tapestry woven with courage, sacrifice, and perseverance. So, who else deserves to be remembered? And how can we ensure their legacies endure?